All right, students, here we are. Hope everyone is doing well at home. This is Mr. Dowd, and today we are going to look at creating our own avatar for our Google accounts, and we are going to do that by using the Piskel app, which is a free online app to create our animated GIFs. So Piskel is an art tool, and it allows you to create sprites and animated GIFs. And a sprite is a small picture that is used in apps and in games. So kind of the way to tell the difference between a sprite or any other kind of image or picture in a computer app or game is if it's moving in your game, that's the sprite. So a missile that is being fired or a dragon that is moving across the screen, those are sprites in your games. Now, Piskel on the left is where you find your art tools. There is a pen tool and it lets you draw. You'll notice that it looks like my pencil is very thick, and it is, and I can control that up here with my tools. I can get down to a much smaller. You can see it's just 1 pixel's worth of line. I can change my color down here. I can click and it gives me the whole range of colors. Once I find one that I like, I can draw with that. And you will then notice that when I go back, it has saved it in a color palette for me here. I can also look over on the right-hand side of my screen and I can see colors that I've assigned right over here. I have a paint bucket tool. If I have filled in an area, I can use the paint bucket tool to color it in. And I can draw shapes, a circle tool, a square tool. Here is a stroke tool where if you hold shift, you can draw straight lines. The eraser tool, if I go, oops, didn't want that, I can use this tool to erase it. And again, if I want, it's taking me too long, I can just make my pencil head, or in this case, my eraser head larger, and I can do it that way. And then these are selection tools. You can do a rectangular selection tool where you can choose a rectangle's worth of stuff to select. When using this tool, oh, by the way, Piskel has hints. If you mouse over, you can see it tells you what to do. In this case, it says copy the selected area and Control V to paste. You can just simply move it and paste it where you want it. I believe you can also cut that way. Here is if you want to lasso an area. I want to select this area, and you can do, let's try the cutting. And this is the shape selection tool. If you click with this, it will grab whatever is the same color, and it allows you to copy and paste or delete that section. You can lighten, you can darken. I am not sure what the dither is. Now, over on the right side is where we have more tools, and this has to do with your size of your screen, your onion skin, I'll explain that in a bit, and other ways to transform what you've already done. And here is your preferences, and this right here lets you resize the screen. I want to look at this right now because if our assignment is to create a new avatar for our school Google accounts, then Google does recommend that your image that you upload is 250 by 250 pixels. And a pixel is a dot on a computer or phone screen that makes up the images and the text and everything that you see on that screen. So if we click the resize icon here, and you can see that Piskel defaults to 32 by 32 pixels, and that's pretty small. That is about a 1/4 inch high or so, which works out for little images that move around in games. But for our avatar, we want it a little bigger. And we're going to follow Google's recommendations, since this is to make a new Google avatar. So where it's the box is checked that says maintain aspect ratio, that means if I do the width, it's going to also change the height in proportion. So I'm going to put 250, 250, and you can see the height changed also. And then I'm going to click resize. So now you'll notice when I do a single dot, oh, that's my eraser. When I do a single dot, that line looks much, much thinner. I'm going to Control Z to get rid of that line. Now, I want to do an animated GIF, and for my avatar, I just want it to be me. I want it to be my face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a picture of myself. So the easiest way to do that is to just open up a window on your computer, if you're using a computer, and I've got an image of myself. I'm going to drag it on, and it's just going to say import as a single image and resize to 608 by 637, and I want to resize to 250, and it's going to stay in proportion at 262. I'm going to import it and OK. And so now my grid is covered up by this picture of me wearing a hat and a sweatshirt. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to the left here, and I'm going to add a new frame. This is going to put another screen, and you can see what's happened here. It has put it, and now the image of me is gray in the background. And you can see this is flashing over here. An animation is still images that are put together to mimic motion. And so you can see right here, when you can see through it, this is the onion skin. And if I click that, I can go turn the onion skin on and off. Onion skin, the skin around an onion is thin, and so that's what this is. It's see-through, but not completely see-through. And if this is bothering you like it is me, I can just do 0 frames per second, and I don't have to see that flash. Frames per second, how many times do the frames change in a second? So there's 2. And again, I'm going to turn it to 0. And so here you can see my original picture, and here is what I'm working. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw myself, and I'm going to make it a medium-sized pen, and I am going to start with black, and I am going to draw. And then if you're going, well, I'm having a hard time seeing, you can scroll up on your mouse wheel, and you can make it bigger if you are. So what I'm going to do is just begin outlining the dark parts in my picture. And I'm doing this with a mouse. I'm doing it fairly quickly, and as you can see, it is far from perfect. But that's all right. We're doing, or in my case, I'm doing a cartoon, and a cartoon does not have to be perfect. So this is the brim of my hat. So I'm going to outline it, and I'm going to just get the basics down. And let's see here. Now, there we go. I can now take my paint can and I can fill the pieces in. And I can make my whole hat black, or I can get another color. And if I want to mimic what the colors actually are of that hat, this weird color of gray, I can use this color picker or a little ink dropper tool, and I can just grab a sample of that color. You can see that color appears here, and then I can go back here. I can use my paint can and fill in that new gray color. Now, I don't have to have the same color around. Oh, and if I want to shift where my view is, I can go over here and I can move this so I can make sure I'm seeing all of my frame. I can click here, I can go back to black, and I can continue outlining the areas. Now, one thing to keep in mind is A, I'll say it again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And B, you can always edit undo. If you, I made a mistake, then you can Control Z and it gets rid of it. So the next phase is to outline and then fill in the colors. And remember, if you want colors from the picture, go back, use the color picker, and grab those colors. All right, students, as you can see, I now have a finished picture. It is right over here. And if I look to the left, I've got my original picture here. And I've got my drawing of myself here. And I want to do something tricky now. The little garbage can up there, I can delete my original frame. So now I just have my picture. Now I can add a new frame. And this is where I am now also going to go back here, and I am going to select my entire image. And I can see that I can't move it up and down. That's everything. And I am going to Control C, copy. I am going to go to my new frame. I'm going to Control V, paste. Now I've got, do I have it? It doesn't look like it. There it is. A little slow on my computer at home. So now I've got my second frame and my first frame, but they're identical. So if I increase my frame rate, I can see they're offset a little bit. You can see it vibrating a tiny bit back and forth, but it doesn't really do anything. So for my animation, I want to mimic me talking. You guys know me, I am not shy about talking. So what I am going to do then is on my second frame, I am now going to use my eraser tool. You could also use selection tools and just delete. In fact, maybe I will do that. Maybe I will use the lasso selection tool, and I am going to, around the mouth, I'm going to click on the corner, and I am just going to drag an area of it. And you can see, and then I'm going to Control X. And now you can see that gray area where my mouth is gone. And in its place, I can now go to my paint can and I can choose black, and I can, oh, that didn't seem to work. Maybe I got to choose my color first. Well, it's insisting on purple. Real delay in things happening. I've chosen black now, and I can make my mouth black. You'll notice I've got some things here from the other picture that I'm going to want to change. So I am going to get my pencil tool. I'm going to select the flesh color that I have here, and I am going to, oops, wrong. I want my pencil. I'm going to draw over that, and I can always increase the size. And that is not a color. What you're seeing is the line that was there before showing through. And so I can continue to do this, and then I can get my pencil tool here still. I can change it back to another color. And I found last time that I needed to come down here. And again, I'm just waiting for my slow computer at home to reflect the change. There it is. And now I can make line. If I wanted to, I could draw some teeth in there. Now, if I increase my frame rate, you can see it looks like I'm talking. This is your job. Make an animated avatar in Piskel. Oh, one more thing. When I am done, when I am all done with this, I want to go to where it, you can see the save disk here. That save disk is going to save it to your Piskel account. You don't have to have a Piskel account. If you do, I suggest you use your school email. Piskel does not push out advertisements. The district, however, is not affiliated with Piskel. It is not part of our Google Apps for Education. I've used it, and I know other teachers in the district who have used it. I do trust Piskel to not share your data. I am going to go here to the export, and the option here, and again, here's how you choose, is download as an animated GIF. And if you do that, you'll notice at the bottom of your Chrome browser, it's going to give it the file name that you gave it, and it will download at the bottom. And once you've done that, show in folder, and you can move that to a place where you know. Next video, we'll talk about putting your animated GIF into your Google account. Have a fantastic day.